past couple of months, we have been seeing a major amount of meltdowns over the Steam charts being referenced by gamers. There are developers and journalists who hate the fact that people are actually using information that is available to them to speculate on the success level of a game. But now it looks like PlayStation is also adding a similar feature because the PS5 updated UI will start showing how many players were in a game per week.
Well, sometimes SteamDB cannot exactly judge whether a game is good or not. Although here, let me tell you this. This is something I learned from a YouTuber called Chaos, okay? He says if Call of Duty didn't perform well on Steam, then you can bet other platforms such as PlayStation, Xbox, or Battle.net isn't performing well, okay?
I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I say this all the time, and this has always been my stance. Transparency is a good thing. I think it is great when platforms allow you to see how many people use their features and their systems. I think that Steam charts are really good to judge whether or not a game is successful or not. I really hate buying a game thinking, oh, this is hyped because of its multiplayer, for example, and I can't wait to play that, and then it takes forever to get into a match, and you can go to the Steam charts before you buy something and see, oh, well, it's only got a couple thousand people in game, so that must mean it's going to have issues.
Oh, and don't forget the Steam frame rate estimator, okay? Even though it's in beta, but when it's implemented, okay, even though it won't force Call of Duty to improve, but you can bet other company, let's say, what company we should name? Let's say other AAA companies, mostly in the West, to be forced to optimize their games, okay? I'm holding on to that.
When it comes to matchmaking, and I do think that that can save people money, but the developers in the industry and also plenty of journalists hate the fact that we do reference things like SteamDB. They think that the chuds are unfairly given these features and that this should be private. Even companies like Ubisoft in the past have tried to rally the forces and get these certain platforms to shut these systems down, but it looks like PlayStation is now taking things a big step forward because the updated UI, and this is a beta, will start showing how many players were in a game. So from what we are hearing right now, it is going to be limited for a while, and it is going to only be the top 10 games, roughly. That's their plan, but this could roll out further in the future. So, this is a Push Square article. Sony is about to surface more data about the PS5's ecosystem than we've ever seen before, with a new Welcome Hub widget that's currently in beta. While this isn't identical to Steam's concurrent player numbers, the new optional edition, spotted and shown by YouTuber Mystic here, reveals the top 10 games in your country with total player numbers for the week. While the widget is only available to select beta testers right now, the aforementioned video reveals the following for the US. And what's so funny is that this means that the marathons that some people have speculated, oh my gosh, are doing so amazing on console, and you can't just judge this game based on the PC numbers, well, they're getting absolutely wrecked now.
Just like Call of Duty, comrades. If Call of Duty doesn't perform well on Steam, you can bet other places didn't perform well. Same goes for Marathon. If Marathon doesn't perform well on Steam, then other places will not perform as well. Let's be clear on that. Although again, PlayStation is trying to keep up with the Steam frame rate estimator because they knew with the Steam frame rate estimators, it will judge which game can be played on certain hardwares. But that's just a theory, okay?
Fortnite 14.6 million, GTA 5 5.13 million, Minecraft 4.97 million, Call of Duty 4.95 million, Apex Legends 1.72 million, Marvel Rivals 1.58 million, Battlefield 6 1.51 million, and Arc Raiders 972 thousand. So this one isn't a screenshot of the top 10. Again, it is in beta, so it is a little bit finicky. And you just know for a fact that over the next couple of days, we are going to be seeing articles releasing that, oh my gosh, PlayStation is giving more information for the toxic chuds to use against developers, and this is unfair. And during a time when so many developers feel uncomfortable with these systems, this platform is rolling out these features.
How about instead of complaining about these features to all Western developers, how about start improving? Remember one thing, the Steam frame rate estimators is going to force every single developer to optimize their games, and that includes the people who runs Lego Batman.
Yada, yada, yada. The coping and seething is going to be spectacular because they hate the fact that we are able to actually, at a glance, see if a game is doing good or doing bad. They do not like the fact that we can go over here and take a peek at, I don't know, 1348x photo and see that there's 4 players in game right now, where Mixtape has, let me refresh this, 597. They don't like that. And so this is only going to make them even more angry. Now, as mentioned above, this data is accurate for the US only, so you'll see different results depending on where you live, but it will be interesting to see if this comes out of beta anytime soon, and if they roll this out to every single experience and every single title that they have. I don't know if that will end up happening, or maybe it will only be like AAA developers, for example. Only time will tell, though that's a very, very fascinating thing to see them do.
Sony PlayStation fanboys, they're gonna melt down to the moon. Oh, I love to see this. People like Reforged Gaming, they're gonna have a massive crash out. Guaranteed. 100% they're gonna have a massive crash out. While they're doing their crash out, we, as gamers, will be playing games.
Because, of course, right now, Sony and PlayStation are in a pretty bad place. A lot of people are very angry at them for a lot of good reasons, and this might make people a little bit happy with them. I think that this is fascinating. Obviously, things like the DRM controversy aren't going away, the Crunchyroll controversy aren't going away.
And don't forget the live service. It needs to stop, okay? Before you say Helldivers and what Forza MLB is successful, it's not enough, okay? You need more single player, okay? Sony?
Time soon, but hey, I suppose this is a positive. Finally, people can stop relying on Steam stats to try and make it seem like COD is dead. Oh shit, effectively SteamDB charts for PlayStation. Sony cooked hard with this update. I know that I had made a post on it and just said, here comes the complaining. Just this one time I will give PlayStation the W. Next, they better lower prices, stop this DRM thing, make better games, and get rid of paid online, and then I will start trusting them again. And most of this isn't going to happen, but I do think that this is a W. All the complainers, we need to stop showing player counts, and PlayStation is smirking. Marathon wellness check, and yeah, when a game like Marathon, which is Bungie's latest massive title, doesn't make the top 10, you know that it's having a rough time.
Also, I have to ask, seriously, Sony, how long? What will it take for you to listen to gamers that live service is not working? You just lost nearly $800 million. What, you want to lose more, $1 billion? And after that, you want to listen to gamers?
That is hilarious. They're going to complain so bad because they won't have the number us PC gamers have on Steam daily. I can't wait to compare their stats to Steam charts alone, not counting Epic Games or GOG. We're already seeing the seething happening. How is this at all fair to games like Mixtape with low populations? Right now, these titles are not going to be tracked. You cannot see if the smaller or indie games on their platform are doing good or doing bad, but I also think that having something like SteamDB is perfectly fine so people can follow a game that they like or they dislike. I am always going to be in favor of transparency, and I know some people are already wondering if this is going to be abused by Sony and if these numbers are going to be fake. I guess we will have to see if any of the numbers sound extremely suspicious or odd. Obviously, it's a slippery slope, right? That could, in theory, happen. I would like to automatically assume that it wouldn't, but again, we can't just blindly trust Sony, and I completely understand why people would be raising that question mark.
Well, there's a quote that I heard from Captain Price in Modern Warfare 2. He says that you have to trust someone to be betrayed. I never did. And sometimes it could reflect on this. You cannot quickly trust Sony. Not quite. They have to earn our trust. Oh yeah, another word. Chris Redfield said, trust is built through actions, not words.
I thought numbers weren't important. I thought asking for transparency was a bad idea. People are saying Xbox should implement this too so we can stop counting on Steam for player counts, and I do think that this is a good idea. I haven't seen any articles go up yet from journalists saying this is a terrible move and the toxic chud gamers are going to use this against developers and it's only going to be creating more toxicity, but I am certain we are going to see some of those types of hit pieces.
Actually, there is. Which, that thing's gonna be tomorrow, okay? There is a response, right? I don't know if it's the journalist or the activist, who knows? I don't trust Sony just yet. No, I'm not trusting Sony just yet, even if they did implement this. They have to earn my trust. They have to earn every one of your trust. Remember, trust is built by actions, not words. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed. Like for example, the DRM, you all know of it. I mean, there's a lot of things to fix. And again, my theory is that I think Sony PlayStation knew that when the Steam frame rate estimator comes, it will force every game, including Sony PlayStation games like Wolverine, assuming it comes to the PC, for optimization, okay? Full optimization. No more unoptimized games. No more. I think that's what Sony PlayStation is trying to avoid.
What were they after?
Some blueprints were stolen from design, and several pieces of Iron Tech armor are missing.
And where's the Punisher? I saw him in the middle of things.
Missing, sir. We're not sure why he was here.
But we do know he was here.
Castle knew something. Find out what it was.
Yes, sir. There was someone with Castle, came on the tour with him, and left with him.
And?
Well, sir, he stole some things from the labs. Paper clips, a hole punch, and some scraps of metal. Should I contact the police?
Take that as a no.
I need a drink.